Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, and this is Tabletop Baseball Digest, and here we are with something I haven't done in a while. Let's take a look at this new game. It's called SRBG. The BG probably stands for baseball game. The SR, I'm not totally sure what that sounds like. Let's look at what we get in this box. It is $40 plus shipping, which is another 10 or so. And let's look a little bit through it. Now, here are the rules and the running checks. So this is the first thing that we need to take a quick gander at. Let's see if we can manage this box. Put it in its place. There we go. All right. So let's see how many pages, first of all. Looks like about 10 pages of rules, and it goes over running rules, running checks, overview, gameplay, rating check. So this is a game where you're going to see if it's off the pitcher card or off the batter card with a 20-sided die. It's called the Dominator rating. See, it's right there, Dominator rating, and you're going to roll the D20 to see if you're going to look at the pitcher, you're going to look at the batter. And then, of course, they got the righty-lefty matchup aspect of it, and we'll get to that when we look at the rules a little bit more closely. Here you have examples of what everything stands for, result references, which is fundamentally basic. A K is a strikeout, BB is base on balls, walk, and so on and so forth. Ground ball out check. So there's an element of ground ball outs. Then you have a runner on third with a ground ball. Then you have a fly out and then fly out results. There are modifiers for those range checks there. So this is not a long rule set. Again, it gives you an example of the card, stealing bases, how to steal bases, attempting the check, the stolen base check. And then finally, pitcher fatigue. Stolen base check, of course, and pitcher fatigue, starting pitcher, relief pitcher. And that's it. Now, those are the rules. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and we'll find out more when I get to play a game. So then let's look and see what happens here. So this is some paper that covers the contents, and here's like a chart. Well, it's bunting situational chart. Okay, runner on first, runner on second, runner on third. Bunting rules. On this side, you get runner on first and second, runner on third. So this is APA style, right? You get a chart with all the different on-base situations. Second and third are bases full. So that is for bunting. Then you have a rare play chart. Runners on first and second, runners on first and third, runners on second and third, and bases full. So there is a rare. Okay, so random play chart is optional if players are wanting more unique experience. Decide before starting a play session if this chart will be used or not. If not using the random play chart, every time the RP is rolled, treat the play as an out. So I'm guessing that on some players you're going to find an RP. You could just treat it as an out. Do not use random play chart twice in a row. Re-roll if at bat is needed. So that sort of thing, a rare play chart, which is kind of cool. And I will go over that in another video a little bit more closely. All right, so we get some dice. Right before we get to the cards, this is the 2023 season. We are going to get some dice. Let's see if I can get this and angle this just a little bit more. There we go. All right. There we go. We are going to get some dice and get some chits here. The red chits, I'm not totally sure where those go. I don't see anything else in the box. Or how you use the chits, I guess I'm not totally sure. But you get the 2 black dice and you get the 1 white die. They're kind of smallish D6s. I would say those are about 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter dice. And then, of course, you get a smallish. I have issues with this box. Okay. Sorry about that. And then you get the D20. That is going to be the driver of the game in many ways, and so forth. All right. So we get some dice, and as you can see, I have a lot of dice. Well, yeah, I don't think you can see it, but I have a lot of dice all over the place. Anyway, okay. Let's look at some teams. Let's do that. Let's look at some teams. Problem with a lot of these teams is I watch the Yankees and the Mets, and I don't know a lot of these teams. I see them, once in a while when they play the Yankees and the Mets, but that's about it. So let's look at the Yankees and the Mets, because that'll be easier for me to go over. All right, here's New York Mets for the 2023 season, and this is going to be Lucchesi. They come in some little rubber bands. The cards are pretty thick card stock. I would say they're about 110 card stock. They have a very cool retro element to them. They're kind of very simple, not they limit the data for everybody. So you have pitchers have something called a dominator roll. So on a D20, 11 to 20, it's going to be you're going to use the pitcher card, right? Budo, that was Lucchesi. Budo is 7 to 20. So I guess the better the ERA is 3.64. Lucchesi was, he had a good ERA. He was 4-0 with a 2.89 ERA. He started 9 games, and I think he got injured. He had a 1.3 WHIP. Budo has a 1.3 WHIP as well. So here you can see the white die is going to tell you what column, right? So when you roll the white die, it'll tell you 1, 2, 3. Let's say you're using the pitcher card, it'll be 1, 2, 3 on the white die, and then it'll give you these results and so forth. And then the home runs, 4 and 5 will be. He gives up a double, a homer, a triple on. Not on row 2 and row 12. He's got also a rare play, a strikeout, and a home run. Those never get modified, so there is some modification that's done, but those, when you end up in that section there, that's automatic as far as I know. All right, Dominic Leone, here is 16 to 20. He had a 4.60 ERA, so a lot of the results will be off the batter card on him. I know you can't see these really great. My camera is not all that great. But I do have a GoPro now that I'm going to try to see if I could set up. I was also trying to set up my phone to do this on the phone. But in my future videos, when I'm looking more closely at the cards and at the charts and gameplay, we will use a different camera so you can see it more clearly. I know this is a little bit blurry. Okay, so then again, you have the 3 standard columns, and then the 2 to 12 result will be with the 2 black dice, right? Remember that you had the 1 white die and the 2 black die, and then you'll get that here on the side. That'll be what it'll tells you what row. These are the columns, right? And then these are the rows, and if you roll a 3 and a 4, that's a 7. It's a strikeout, and a fly ball when it's off the pitcher card, right? The pitcher cards benefit the pitcher. So here are a lot of the Matt Moore is on New York. Matt Moore is on New York. All right, I thought it was okay. All right, so Matt Moore pitched what? He was out of the bullpen. He was a throws lefty. He had 50 games, a 2.56 ERA, 52. I don't even remember him from last year. David Robertson, I remember him well. He pitched very well with the Mets. He had a bunch of saves, especially when, he was the closer for the Mets for a while last year until they kind of gave up and gave him away, sold him. Traded him or whatever. I'm not sure what it was. So then David Peterson, he throws lefty. Had a 5 ERA. So he's going to give up a lot of hits. As you can see, single, walk, double, single, homer, double, single, walk. And then you get home run, and triple if you roll a snake eyes. So the way the card, now I think each team comes with 27 cards. This is Adam Ottavino. He's still there this year. 3.21 ERA last year. Played in 66 games. 14-20. It will be on the pitcher card with Adam Ottavino. There is a bump if he's facing a righty, right? If he's facing a lefty, then no bump. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I know there is a lefty-righty kind of modifier there. Carlos Carrasco, he was a piece of work. 6.8 ERA. He was a nightmare. He started 20 games. He was getting hammered every game. Nightmare. Kodai Senga was really, really good as well. ERA 2.98, 29 starts. Innings pitched 160, 77 walks for a Japanese pitcher. Seems like a lot to me. It's almost, well, it's about, what is that? A walk every 2 innings almost. And he's got a bunch of walks here in column 6, as you can see that. So yeah, Drew Smith, he was pretty good. He always also, I think, he pitched a lot. He pitched 62 games, but had a pretty high ERA, 4.15, with a WHIP of 1.40, and that's a 15-20 on the D20. So that's how that D20 is going to tell you, do you use the pitcher card or do you use the batter card? We haven't gotten to any batters yet, so there's a lot of pitchers. Jose Quintana, and he had a 3.50 ERA, 13 starts. He came back towards the end of the season. Tyler McGill, he's been sent down to the minors. He had a 4.70 ERA last year. He was just horrible, almost a 1.6 WHIP. Okay, he was a nightmare. Gave up a ton of home runs. He's got home runs on Snake Eyes 1, 2, 3, Snake Eyes 4, 5, Snake Eyes 6. So he really gives up a ton of home runs. All right, Rafael Ortega, outfielder. Okay, so here we start going into our fielders, and here's his pluses and minuses versus a left-handed pitcher. He's a -1, and versus a right-handed pitcher, he gets no advantage at all. Where does it say if he's a righty or a lefty? It doesn't really say that. And they're just one-sided cards. The name is like really small, but the numbers or the results are really big, which I like. So, and it's a very clean card, not overly crowded with information like you see some cards. The cards are small, so not expensive to print out. You could probably print out 8 of these on each paper. So if at some point they start selling PDFs, it'll be easy to print these out. They're a nice size card. Let's compare them to, let's say, where's an Apple card? Hold on a second. I got an Apple card back here somewhere. Here's one. All right, and here it is. Yeah, they're about the same size as an Apple card. Yep, exactly the same. Pretty cool. All right, let's see. Mark Vientos, he's having a great season. He's got 16 home runs and 200 at-bats this season. Last season, he hit 9 home runs. It doesn't say how many at-bats, but he didn't hit for a very good average. It doesn't say his total at-bats. Here's his base running. Here's his stolen bases. Didn't do much of that. Yeah, so he's not a great speedy runner, if you will. Here's Luis Guillorme. He's playing with California now. No advantage versus left. No advantage versus right. No disadvantage either. Brett Beatty. He's down in the minor leagues this season. He's got off to a rough start. He batted .212 last year with 9 home runs. 2 stolen bases. Here is Omar Narvaez. Not around anymore. I don't think he's around anymore with the Mets. I think they cut him loose. He batted 211. DJ Stewart, he had a really good season. Well, really good season, batted 244, hit 11 home runs. But he got off to a big start. He had 10 home runs in his first 100 at bats. And then he was batting around 300 for a while there. But DJ Stewart, they just also, I think they sent him down to the minors. Here's Francisco Alvarez, who hit 25 home runs with a 209. They had terrible batting averages, but he did hit 25 home runs. He got a lot of home runs on his card here on Snake Eyes. He's a rookie catcher last season. Here's Starling Marte, who had an off season last year. He was dealing with an injury. Better season this year, but also dealing with an injury. Daniel Vogelbach, he was DFA'd, and he's got an effect versus left-handed pitching. Mark Canha, he played very well, had a good on-base percentage, 355. Oh, no, that's his slugging. It's average in slugging. His slugging was 355. He had 11 stolen bases, caught stealing once, but he had a bunch of walks during the time he was with the Mets. Jeff McNeil had an off season last year, having even a worse season this year, 270. He's a batting title winner. He hit 10 home runs, but he played the full season, so he's not going to have a lot of that on his card. Pete Alonso hit 46 home runs, so he's got a lot of home runs here. Columns 4 and 5. He's got a couple of home runs on 2 and 3, and then on 6, he's got them at 3, 4, and 5, 3 and 4. He's got home runs. So this is going to be interesting to play this game, to learn to play this game. Brandon Nimmo. So I believe you got about 27 cards. I believe that. So 27 is definitely good enough to play some pickup games, some one-off games. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, now 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So these are pretty thick. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and like I said, 27 per team, which is, enough to play some games, and you can always kind of just make up your own cards. I'm sure that if I reach out to the guy, he can have some Stratomatic has the pitcher batting cards, and then they have the anonymous player cards and all that. I bet you he could do the same thing. So you can just look at different batting averages and slugging percentages and just try to match them with a card, and that's about it. So I don't think there's anything more to show you here. There's nothing more in this box. That's it. So it's an unknown guy, really. I don't know him very well. Sure, a nice guy, and he put this together, and we're gonna play a couple games, and then I'll show you how to play this thing, and we'll see. But it definitely has a nice retro feel to it. The cards are very clean, simple, straightforward. There's not too much going on here. But you do have to roll for base runner advancement, so there will be guys getting thrown out. Let's say I'm going first to third, with a slow guy. The odds are that he kind of gets thrown out. He's like, for example, let's see. What happened to my Mets? What did I do with them? All right, so Pete Alonso. Going from first to third is 13 to 20. I guess there's also a modifier for where the ball is hit, perhaps, or you can add one. I mean, you could make it 15 to 20. Make it harder if he's going first to third with the ball hit to left field. I don't even know if that's part of this game, but you could just make it a little bit harder. But he's not. Obviously, he's, Marte, somebody like Marte probably have a better chance of going first to third. Let's see. McNeil is 11 to 20. He's a little bit faster. Mark Hanna was 16 to 20. Vogelbach was terrible. 18 to 20 if he's going first to third. Yeah, he went station to station. Here's Marte. Okay, Marte going first to third, 8 to 20. So I roll a d20. Anything that lands between 8 and 20, he will make it to third. So that's how that works. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you found this a little bit interesting. I know it's a little bit blurry, but we will use different camera for when we get our game and when we look at the cards a little bit more closely, and when I kind of read through the rules a little bit more and get a little bit more comfortable with the basics of this game. And like I said, it's called SRBG, right? And that's the game, and that's how it comes. Very simple, very straightforward. And we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter, and this is Tabletop Baseball Digest. And I will see you soon. Take care. Remember, like and subscribe to my channel.